Hey guys, hanging out with my female spotted python today. Those of you that have been on the channel have probably seen her a time or two before. I think I did 2 videos with her. Hopefully the sun breaks back through the clouds, because these guys are pretty iridescent. Not crazy iridescent, not like your white lips or your water pythons, but a decent amount, like a lot of the Australian species tend to be. You can see it in the olive pythons, you can see it in the McLeod's pythons, and lots of stuff from around that area. She is a fairly confident animal, like a lot of my other stuff. She does seem to enjoy some time out here and checking things out. So this is a nice spot where I can bring her over here. You know, there's this tree I had to take down. And then, you know, obviously there's lots of woods. There's actually a creek back there seasonally. So it's just a cool time for her to get a little exercise, both mentally and physically. She tends to be a fairly inactive snake indoors. I actually noticed she was moving around a little bit last night, which means she's probably hungry, and I'm actually going to be feeding her later on tonight. Not because she was moving around, just happens to be about that time. She's a pretty good sized spotted python female. If I had to guess, I would say she's probably 5 feet, maybe a little bit more even. I'll have to actually measure her. But she'll eat, you know, medium rats without a problem, which is a pretty good substantial meal for spotted pythons. Typically I'll feed her smalls, but she can definitely take larger meals for sure. Her metabolism is very good. Her body condition is very good, as you can see. And you can see she's relaxed, normal tongue flicks. Nothing about her environment really makes her nervous. She's pretty comfortable and confident no matter what the situation, which is a really nice thing to see in snakes. I enjoy that. I enjoy snakes that aren't weary and aren't worried about things. See her as her body moves down the stump there. Also want to take this chance, a lot of the videos that I've posted the last couple of weeks have been videos that I took prior, and not, you know, fresh new videos. Not that they're old, but before, you know, a lot of you came over from Jason's video there. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that came over to the channel from there, and of course thank you to everybody that's been here, you know, since the start and as we've progressed. Hopefully everybody's finding the content a little bit different and interesting. You know, I really want people to, you know, that are keepers and even people that aren't, to be able to come here and see these animals and how they behave normally. You know, and not what people see. Everybody just wants to post feeding videos and bite pics and things like that. And yes, that can be a part of keeping, but there's so much more to it. And there's a lot more enjoyable things that we can do with these animals. They're intelligent creatures, largely misunderstood. So it's nice to be able to spend some time with them and, you know, let people see their individual personalities and get to know these animals on a level that's not just, you know, from what people are shown when, you know, things do happen on occasion. Obviously, I've kept snakes for a long time. I'm not sure what to make of me sticking my hand there. Sun's coming out, but now I'm blocking it. Hopefully you can see a little bit of her iridescence now. We'll grab her out and we'll move her. Stay here for a minute again. Let people see you. Like I said, they're not crazy iridescent, but you can definitely see some of it there. I'm sorry I'm jumping all over topics. The sun came out and kind of made me think about that. Here, why don't you go back up here? All right, can you hold on so I don't drop you? Put her up there so we can watch her move in the sun a little bit here. But anyhow, as I was saying, you know, I like to be able to show off these animals, let people see their personality, let people see how they actually interact when they're kept properly and managed properly. You know, they're not monsters, they're not out to hurt anybody, they're not looking to cause any trouble for anyone. Put her over here so we can watch her move a little bit better without all the cover. But yeah, I really get tired of seeing people demonize them when they don't really deserve it. You know, most animals are just trying to survive, and they're trying to kind of navigate in our world. You know, it's a world that used to be theirs, and we've kind of taken it, especially keeping them in captivity. obviously that's an unnatural situation that they have to get used to. And they do a really great job of adapting to it in most species. And typically, you know, we start out, there were years ago where some of these species weren't adapting so well, and it wasn't because they weren't adapting, it was because we weren't. They're pretty resilient animals. If you give them the opportunity and you give them what they need, they really do figure it out pretty well. They heal themselves pretty well. They do a lot of things. A lot of times they need less from us than more. And it's just a matter of learning how to give them what they need. And then they do well. And then we see more captive breeding and, you know, various manners of people keeping them. Let's see, she's a very pretty animal. Very independent too. She likes to do her own thing. But once again, thank you to everybody for coming out and checking this out and being a part of this. You know, I was never a person that wanted to take a bunch of videos and hear myself talk. It's not who I am. But I am passionate about these animals, and I do want to share that with other people. And I also saw just so much cringy content and so much stuff where, you know, it wasn't what I wanted to see. And I wanted to see people enjoying their animals and see people doing projects with them and explaining why they do the things they do, and in terms that, you know, people could understand. Sometimes that's hard. Sometimes you get off to talking and you don't realize that, you know, you're losing people with how you're going about it. But I do try to make things to where somebody that just showed up and is watching this video for the first time can get a feel for what's going on and not be totally lost and confused. So hopefully that's coming across. As always, I appreciate any and all feedback, you know, positive, negative, whatever you got, as long as it's constructive. I would love to hear it always. Video ideas too, I am open to. I can't promise you that I'll get to everything that's suggested, and sometimes people have good suggestions, but I just don't have a way to make it into a good video. So it doesn't mean that I don't think it's a good suggestion, just sometimes it's, you know, easier to talk about than actually do. Hopefully you're really seeing that iridescence right now. I'm trying to capture it as best I can. See it pretty good there. She is of Cape York locality, so if you're looking at other spotted pythons, they look a little bit different. That may be why. She caught my attention. This is actually never a species I intended to keep. Somebody else was looking for one, and I started trying to help them track down a baby and find some information and things. And as I looked more into them, I became more interested. And so now I have a pair of spotted pythons that I enjoy a great deal. My male's been on the channel as well. He's considerably smaller. He's less than half the size of her. Still haven't figured out breeding them. Last season they locked up a bunch and bred very well, but I got nothing. This season the male wasn't interested at all. So obviously I didn't cycle her properly. Last year I think she probably did the cycling, and this year I felt the need to tweak it since it didn't work, and I probably tweaked in the wrong direction. So once again, as I said, sometimes they need less of us. I probably interfered and shot myself in the foot, whereas had I left them be, I probably would have been good. So this year I'm going to try what I did the first year and kind of let it fly and just hope that they're settled in and good to go. Obviously she's got good weight and good size. She's got a great appetite, and hopefully we'll get them there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I don't want to go too long. I'm going to hang out with her for a while, and I've got some things to do. But keep enjoying your animals. Hopefully I see more content like this from people. I love seeing people actively taking pictures and videos and, you know, hear their excitement about their snakes. Passion's not something you can fake, so it always comes across. And I'm not one of those people that, you know, I sound super excited about my passion, but I am. I'm just not one of those, you know, boisterous, crazy, you know, frat types or anything. It's just not me. Pretty laid back person, but I do really love these animals, and I do enjoy the fact that I have the privilege to keep them and spend time with them every day. Even some days where I want to scream because I'm elbow deep in poop and I'm sweating profusely, I still enjoy the opportunity to do that. Sometimes I just have to remind myself, and I think anybody that's ever kept a larger number of these animals understands that some days it can be a bit of a chore, which is why it's really important that we enjoy it, because if you don't enjoy this and you don't have a true passion for it, those days that are a chore are going to be a lot more often, and eventually they're going to lead you to not really take care of things the way you need to. We're hitting that 10-minute mark, which is a little long for this particular segment. So we're going to dial it back. I'll let you guys get a little close up there of her as she moves through the leaves. Damn grass in my way. So hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing her interact with her environment, how they move, her confidence, you know, and how even though she's not out here that often, she's perfectly content with it and good to go. Not all of my snakes are that way, but a vast majority of them are. We'll see you guys. Thank you.